It seems like every company is trying to build some sort of generative AI application at the moment. Are there any popular use cases that you're seeing?
Yes. So MindStudio now has over 50,000 AIs that have been built and deployed across, giant enterprises, government agencies, small and medium-sized businesses, individuals, and sort of across, I think every industry is represented and pretty much every job function represented. So we get to sort of have this like interesting vantage point of like seeing how organizations are sort of adopting and refactoring and sort of evolving, using AI. And we publish on our website like an interactive matrix where you can go through sort of by job function of like common patterns we see, but I'll give you sort of a peek into it. So sort of the primary uses for AI, again, built with MindStudio, are things that allow for example, complete automation of processes, right? I'll give you an example. There are organizations that get thousands and thousands of resumes that show up via email. And they've got people sitting there that are like scanning these resumes and trying to figure out which ones are incomplete and reaching out to people asking for more information and trying to figure out how to rank them and route them to the right sources, right? It's like a full-time job for a bunch of people. It doesn't need to be. You can, in half an hour, without any engineers involved, build an application that watches the inbox and does all of those things. And so those poor people can now go on and do things that are more interesting and more productive than doing that. Or lead ingestion. Every, website in a sense has a contact form. Some are quite busy of like, this is the way people try to contact the business, get more information, try to buy a product, etc. Those are typically monitored by individuals that sort of look at the form and again, potentially might need to reach out and get more information and disambiguate and then take that data and put it in some other system like CRM or something else, pass it on to a salesperson, an account rep or whatever. Like all of that can be automated. You don't need to do any of that as a human. So it's like automation, complete automation. Then sort of next batches of things are like partial automations, things that still need humans involved, but an AI can be built to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So the human now is able to just live dramatically more than they ever could and sort of operate much faster with higher quality, yada, yada. So there's like tons of applications like that. And then beyond that, for things that still require a lot of human interaction, organizations are saying, well, could I now build custom AI-powered applications for our employees that are specifically built for doing what they do? Not using like off-the-shelf SaaS that we've all used for years now. Like there's a stat that came out recently that I think median organization has 130 some odd SaaS products that they use. This is insane. Doesn't make any sense. Why? Because those are all sort of generic products that we cobbled together to create these like weird information systems that we have today. Well, AI changes all of that. So now an organization can very rapidly, again, even without developers being involved, just like regular business users can learn to use MindStudio and very rapidly build for themselves custom business applications that are AI powered, made to fit like a glove and like dramatically make them more productive. Yeah. And do the things they don't want to do, like make them happier. Happy employees are more productive employees. Okay. And then, many other things like, there's still times that it's valuable to be able to just like chat with a large language model, right? You're just doing some enumeration, like some ad hoc research or thinking. Well, today, a lot of employees are using ChatGPT or Claude, like these basically sort of commercially available consumery type things, right? And so what MindStudio lets enterprises do is to sort of replace that kind of usage and give employees enterprise grade, made by the enterprise for each job function of a team member, personalized assistant that uses any of these models. MindStudio is actually, I probably should have mentioned this, model agnostic. We support all the models. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, Mistral, open source. Organizations are connecting them to private models in their own private clouds or on-premise, so any model. And so these specialized assistants can use any model, but are managed by the enterprise, can enforce rules of the enterprise, understand the job function, require much less prompting, can reference data from the enterprise. So they're not just like making stuff up, but using real data. So it's like really comprehensive tool set that, again, has over 50,000 of these things that have built, but again, mostly fall into these like categories. And then by job function, depending on what you are, if you're sales, you're doing lead injection. If you're HR, ingestion. If you're HR, you might be doing resume ingestion. But the pattern's kind of similar. It's like stuff that an AI can do, you can just build and make your organization radically better.